Welcome to this presentation on importing PADI student data into ISIS Eve. In the previous presentation, we looked at how to request the PADI student data held against your store record from the PADI Pro site, and that will have been delivered to us in a format that we can now import into the Eve system. And as I have done with my my pseudo store here for Richard's Remora Wrestlers 21549, I have a folder onto my desktop called Download, and in there I downloaded and placed the file from the email that I requested. So you'll recall from the last video that we went onto the Pro site, clicked a button, and then I got an automated email with this file attached. And this file simply contains all of the student data historically attached to my store number. So we're going to go ahead now and import that into Eve. It's a relatively straightforward process, and don't forget, in the next presentation we'll be showing you how to tidy up some of that data and make it look nice, ready for using within customer search wizards and within the auto email agent. So from here I'm going to go to the file menu and then to the import link, and I'll be presented with a dialog box on screen asking me what sort of data I'd like to import into Eve. A few options here. By default, the import from Excel option is selected. Above that, we've got some old options for importing Eve data from previous systems. And then the most important one that I'd like to use here is the import student and certification data. So I'm going to put a little tick, a little radio button check in there and click on import. It now gives me some details regarding how to get hold of that data, and these are the very steps that I've followed out previously in the last presentation to get that file from PADI. And now I click the import button and an open dialog box will pop up on screen here, and it's saying, hey, you know what, show me where the file is and I'll start importing it. So I've gone to my desktop, into the download folder that I stored that PDI file in, and here it is, SE021549, 21549 being the store number for my my Richard's Remora Wrestlers. So I'm going to click that, click open, and it will now give me a quick warning saying, you know, are you really sure you want to import this student data? Well, I'm quite happy, so I'm going to click yes, and we can see here at the bottom of the screen it's processing the records within that file and importing them into the system. This will take a few minutes depending on how long you've been running as a store, how many students you've accumulated, and once it's completed it gives me an overview of what's been pulled into the system. So we can see here that it's looked at certifications and it's ripped in 352 certifications from that file. It's found 7 instructors, 352 students, and so on and so forth. That's a historical log sheet that I can use to see if there's any errors. And then once I've clicked close here, I click close once again, and a final close on that dialog box, and now the student data for 21549 is imported into Eve. I can check this by going to the customers tree view, clicking on find, clicking the search button, clicking OK, and sure enough there are 211 students that have been imported. In the next presentation, I'm going to show you how to run some specific SQL code which will tidy up all those customer names into the proper case as opposed to being all capital letters or lowercase letters.